how we doing, folks? It's Sunday night again, and we're back once again to drive you around the bend. And tonight we're back to tackle story number 2 in volume 3 of the Third Doctor Adventures with Tim Treloar and Katy Manning in The Storm of Horofax. It's the 70s again, it's Unit, and we have time travelers galore. What did you think about it? Well, you're about to find out, but before we get to that, let's get to your usual malarkey, shall we? All the way from down under, he has the thunder. It's AJ. How's it going, boss?
Hi guys, how are you this morning?
Good to see you, mate. Fresh and bubbly-eyed on a Monday morning as ever. All the way from Techie Cole, enjoying his day off. Texas Tim Wells. Timbo, how's it going, mate?
We'll be right back.
Indeed, after these messages. Speaking of messages, I think it both New York football teams are getting gubbed again. How's it going, Will?
Hey, nah, they're going in overtime. So we don't know.
Oh, there you go. And joining us, the pride of Soho down Tottenham Way, it's Phil Parcher. How are we doing, Phil?
Hello. Nice and shiny like you. I want to be your twin. There you go.
That's what happens when you don't visit Sweeney Todd, folks. So, yeah, The Storm of Horofax. We have Katy Manning and Tim Treloar back, recreating the Jon Pertwee era. We have an abandoned alien on an army station who then turns out to be a provost of a race known as the Horofax. We have a lot of mind reading to try and establish where the best time to invade is. We have disappearing soldiers. And we have another reference for about the 4th story in a row to the Cold War. Go figure. I told you this thing lasted 20 odd years. What do we think? Opening thoughts. Where to begin? Phil, opening thoughts for yourself, mate. The Storm of Horofax, Tim Treloar and Katy Manning.
This one, it's an okay story, this one. I mean, as I was alluded to earlier, it had a similar ring to another story that is a companion chronicle, but we won't go into it. This is not about that. But I do like the fact that how Joe is subsumed by this. What's the alien woman called?
Arianda.
I'll just call it a woman.
Arianda. What's up your ears?
Arianda, man.
Arianda. That's not an easy name to say when you're drunk. So I like how she's been subsumed by that woman, Arianda, and then she sort of like attempts to try and kill the doctor and all that palaver. But I did like there was a character I liked. The bloke Joe meets in the woods.
Adam, the forest ranger.
Yes, I did like him because it was like he got thrown into a situation he had no control over. He didn't know was even existable, and the fact that did he get sort of like wiped out, or was that somebody else?
No. He was frozen because he forgot to put the suit on.
Yeah.
No, I had the suit on, just no.
He didn't put the down.
Yeah.
The visor.
Yeah, so he got frozen. I did like his character. He's my favourite character in the whole story. And then you got the thing about the ship vanishing, like the that movie, the Philadelphia Experiment, that sort of thing going on.
Jump forward in time, yeah.
So that was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. But overall, it's an enjoyable story, and I liked it actually very much.
Okay, cool, mate. Always good to get a nice wee unit story in the 70s. Timbo, opening thoughts for you in this one, mate?
But yeah, it was a good story. I thought they did a good job of capturing, that time because it's one of those invasion from within kind of thing. Yeah, no TARDIS involvement or anything. But I thought it started out really good, but then it got kind of cartoony at the end. It seemed
okay.
Like the villainess was brilliant at first, but then as the story went on, she became more and more of a mustache twirling, scenery eater kind of thing. And I just thought, it would have been a lot better if she had maintained, her cool. I don't know, but yeah, it was a good enough runaround, I guess. I agree with Philip about Adam. I liked that character. It was a pity he just kind of disappeared. At the end of episode 3 or something, he just wasn't around anymore. They had to mention at the end, oh, he's okay.
Yeah, a throwaway line. There you go. Yeah,
they just kind of dropped him from the action, but. Yeah, it was a good enough runaround.
All right, cool. AJ, how was this one for you, mate? Opening thoughts?
It was a good story, but for me there were a few plot holes which I'll go into a bit later
on. Oh, please do. It wouldn't be the internet without moaning about plot holes. Yeah.
But I liked Joe in this story. I like how her cold sort of is a central point to the end of the story, like the whole situation.
On the mind warp thing,
yeah. Remember the cold, and all that sort of stuff. I thought it was Treloar is just getting better and better, channeling Jon Pertwee. I'm amazed, he's got like a Ouija board or something trying to get the character down right.
Yeah.
It's just eerie how much he sounds like Pertwee. It's a very good unit like Doctor centralized story, which basically he's just gone in to see what's going on and it gets blown out of proportion, which is quite good.
Yeah, there you go. I concur with that. Yeah, Tim Treloar really has come a long way since that first story in the first box set a few years back. Well, I'm the thoughts for you, mate. Storm of Horofax.
It's not a bad story. At first I thought the lady Arianda, I thought she was running away from the Horofax because because she was saying that she's an observer of history like that. So I thought maybe she was hiding from that. Knowing that later on she's the main protagonist, antagonist, and it controls the Horofax, that made the story a little good like that. But like Tim said, she became like a mustache 20 villain after episode 3 like that. But in a funny way, in my opinion, I don't think she died in the end of the story, because knowing how much of a manipulator she is and she's always thinking, in my opinion, that she did something that for herself to escape, and everybody around her just got bumped off.
It was the time warp engines in the end that exploded the ship, wasn't it?
Yeah, but because it was using so much energy to take everybody back, I feel that she just did something to make herself jump, and everybody else died from her crew like that. So hopefully, this is a character, this is a villain that could come back, and then again, she either could come back to meet the third doctor or the other doctors afterwards. So that's a character that could be brought in. Like Phil said, Adam was the ranger. He stood out in this story real good. It's a shame that he froze in time and after episode 3 like that, because it would have been good to see how he would have helped the doctor in episode 4. But then again, he it's lucky he wasn't killed off. The one that a little bit of a sad character, of course, is Major Harding, because he was in this story. You could tell that he's been with Unit and helped the doctor face a lot of other villains that appeared in TV episodes, and then at the end of the story, he's wiped out, so nobody will remember him except for the doctor.
I think you mentioned Terror of the Autons was his first mission.
Yeah.
Him, so
So that was sad to see a character like that could have potentially come in other episodes of the third Doctor series, considering this is the one you can say this is the one thing that we don't have that many of the actors or actresses to among us to do the voice like that. So this character could have stayed and done come back in other stories. So it was a little bit sad to see him get gone like that.
Every good story needs a red shirt, as they say.
I have to say, the only problem I had with this story was trying to visualize the soldiers, the Horofax soldiers.
With the helmets?
Yeah, it was just the fact that they weren't realized properly on audio for me.
But in a way it was, because if you notice that one of them, the one that Joe was trying to talk to, Cinco, she saw his past, and he was a warrior that fought them like that, and then Ariana manipulated him to join them.
And remember,
I understand that point.
But Phil, you got to remember that in this story, the Horofax were an amalgamation of all different species.
Yeah, I understand that, but visualizing them in my head as the story's playing out, I couldn't do it. So the only thing I could match it to was that Capaldi's story with Robin Hood and those soldiers. With
the robot things.
That's what I could do in my head.
Fair enough. Well, it's still the interpretation, I guess.
Yeah.
You get everything there, Will?
Well, it was good to see, of course. Even though we hardly heard from him that much, Commander Burton, how he saw certain things, and it was good to see how he questioned, like, what do you mean, you time travel? What do you mean, these are aliens? Same thing with the
the guy in charge of the naval base. Yeah.
So it was pretty good to see how he talked like that. Of course, at the end, you hear somebody say, "Oh yeah, Mike said you gotta keep everything down low. You can't talk about it like that." That's pretty good. Yeah,
Secret Service Act and all that. Yeah, and you know what? For me, I enjoyed this too, but I'm inclined to agree a wee bit with Tim and Will. Arianda was a superb villain for the first 3 parts. Part 4, you're like, I don't know.
It's like, where'd that come from?
She morphed into Dick Dastardly. I'm like, what the hell?
I feel like Joe, since Joe was in her head and saw that she wasn't what she was claiming, that she had many victories, and saw that she was losing a lot, especially to humans from the future that kept and then I think that was her reacting that she's gonna lose again. So she spat. So she had a total spazzoid.
I mean, yeah, this thing had some really cool elements to it. The Horofax were pretty good for me. I like the fact that even Arianda done her body research. She spent some time in the 1700s, you know, watching a couple of battles, trying to pinpoint the best time to invade and all the rest of it. So she obviously done her research, but when she got to part 4, it was as if, okay, I'm nearly at the end game here and I'm going fucking insane. But, hey, I guess I needed a quick out to resolve the story. That's the only excuse I could probably give, but what can you do? But Tim Treloar, really improving each and every story. It'll be interesting to see how he goes next set against Rufus Hound's Monk. That's what we're getting next, apparently. So, God, Rufus Hound's been everywhere up and down the Doctor's timeline more than syphilis. I'm telling you, man, it's unbelievable, man. But it keeps him in work. All right, guys, any events or characters within this tale that stood out for you? I know you covered it briefly with Adam and whatnot, but anything else? Well,
because even though if you think about it, the Doctor was, of course, talking to everybody and explaining how certain things was going on, and of course try to get Arianda to not attack the Earth. Of course, the who stood out, of course, was, like you said, it was Adam and Major Hardy. Because even though it's funny, Major Hardy disappeared in the second story. He came back and was able to help the Doctor attack attack the ship like that.
It was as if Adam was the gap filler when Hardy wasn't there, basically.
Yeah.
In the story.
Yeah. So you know that's what come when Adam was frozen and Major Hardy came back in the 4th chapter.
All right, who played Adam and Hardy respectively?
Adam was played by Ian Batchelor and Major Hardy was Robert Hands.
There you go. Right.
So those two stood out like that, and of course Joe was good, you know, especially trying to talk to Alejandro, but you know, and with Adam, but that stood out pretty good. So you know, I got to give her props for that. She stood out good.
Okay, cool. Timbo, anything stand out for you, mate?
Yeah, I was surprised at what a seemingly well developed character Adam was when he joins suddenly, and he's kind of Joe's companion for a good episode or so, and then suddenly she gets captured again and he becomes the Doctor's companion for a while. And he's a really good character that they kind of, more than they normally do with, you know, the guest character or whatever. I mean, it seemed like he would have been a nice permanent addition to the trio, but I mean, of course, I said it's kind of sad that he just disappears suddenly, and then they just have to give him a mention at the end of the story. But I'll tell you one thing I didn't like too was, and I hate to criticize it, was Katy Manning's sneeze acting. I mean, you don't just say "achoo" and get away with it. That's not how people sound when they sneeze. So I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I would blame the director, I guess. They just like, could you try to? I don't know. It's probably hard to sneeze act. But I'm just saying.
Blow some pepper in her face.
Maybe, you know what it is? It's maybe they never done as many takes on that as they probably should have, and then picked one. You know, the odd thing they do. They maybe only done a couple. Should have maybe 3 or 4.
I don't know. I mean, it happened several times throughout the story, and it's like, come on, nobody says "at you." I mean, that's just like,
what is this? Ring of roses? Yeah. Maybe she was hungover that morning. You never know. That's
a nitpick. I'll say that's a nitpick, but it kind of just like for a minute takes you out of it because you really think, come on, they could do better than that. It's all right.
Well, you know, can't have everything. All right, cool. Phil, anything for you, mate?
I'll follow what everybody says about that guy,
Adam.
I'll agree with that with everybody else because he was top dollar in this story for me. I like him. But there's also the fact of the woman that played the main protagonist. She was pretty good for being, because at first you weren't really sure whether she was a baddie or a goodie, and then as she progressed throughout the story.
All right, hang on, hang fire, Phil. Well, who played Arianda?
Arianda was played by Robin Weaver.
There you go.
Okay, well, that woman, she was quite superb as the alien protagonist. Or what do you call her? I can't say that.
Provis.
The Provis. And one thing that did annoy me as well, when the unit soldiers arrived, and the main one was like, "All right, you're all up there." It was so false and so full on. It was like, they don't talk like that in unit. It's a bit. much, man.
So it was a bit part. It was probably one of the directors just sitting in the booth that day. You know, like I'll fill in here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
it was just too over the top for me. I couldn't take it seriously. Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, Jay, how about you, mate?
I'm gonna say the sound design for this episode was really well done. The music, it was a bit classical series, but also a bit more modern as well.
Yep.
Some of the music they used, which bravo. I really gonna follow everyone else. Adam was a really well done character. I like the part where he's getting frozen in time, and you actually hear a crackling noise, like freezing ice or something. I thought that was a very well done touch for that. One of my nitpicks though is Arianda picking humans again to try and manipulate in the past because they're immune anyway in the future to her conditioning. Why would you pick Joe? If the doctor was the unknown factor, you could have easily manipulated him and then made him try and kill Joe. I would have switched the roles around a little bit, made the doctor the one who was easily manipulated by Arianda.
Doctor wasn't a human.
I know that, I understand that, but what I mean is he would have he's been manipulated in the past by other aliens and whatnot. So why not do that again? Because the humans were immune.
I think it was established that for the get-go in this thing, he was immune because he was clouding her judgment on the ship, remember?
Because of him being there, she couldn't see that much ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, I was just saying, to me, it felt like a bit of a nitpick trying to manipulate a human who was going to eventually break the conditioning. That's all.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that he wasn't really aware of the history with his people and hers, if you understand. It was like...
Well, he fucked off with Gala 3 years ago. He's not expected to know everything, Phil.
But the way she said it, though, as if they were old adversaries from, like, you know, maybe the dark times with Rassilon or something.
Yeah, throw in the vampires while you're at it, you know. Yeah.
True.
All right, that's cool. As I say, Alejandro was great in this up until part 4. Adam, dynamite. You do feel sorry for Paul, Major, what's his name again? The one that disappeared, Corporal.
Major Hardy.
All right, you felt sorry for the Hardy boy. I was still getting a clue there. But yeah, you did feel sorry for him at the end. Tim Treloar, Katy Manning, back on form, minus the sneezing. What I did like though was the mind warp scene. And I thought that was pretty cool. In episode 2, before she went all twirly mustache, she was good. She was good in that scene along with Joe. That was quite good.
Okay, yeah.
In the bunker. So yeah, good stuff all right, folks. Right, guys. Philip, turn off your fucking notifications.
It's Matt Rose, for God's sake. Anyway, after that.
Right. What's my train of thought now? Thanks, mate. Open mic portion of the cast. Anything else you want to bring up before we get us Ratoed, Zippoed, and Indy Can?
Well, I would like to, like we've seen a lot of Third Doctor stories coming out of box sets, but then the of course everybody here is aware that that's the one Doctor that a lot of the actors who did this TV series are no longer with us. So that means you're gonna be stuck with just having Joe as the companion, because I don't think it's appropriate for anybody to try to do Liz Shaw or Sarah Jane now, and unless they come up with a new companion that could have happened between certain stories, or maybe you
can do a couple of Mike Yates.
Or you could have Katy Manning come in as the Irish Wild Time. You know, is that bubblehead character there?
That's a very good point.
No, really done that in a companion chronicle. What was it, Find and Replace?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
I'm guessing you could squeeze a new companion in between the Green Death and the Time Warrior. You don't. They don't really mention Joe in the Time Warrior. I mean, she's kind of like gone, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, so that would probably be because they mentioned Liz quite a bit in Joe's first story. So in other words, she went back to Cambridge or whatever. So I mean, if you wanted to create a new companion for the Third Doctor, they could do it.
She get knocked up by beavers. Yeah.
Oh, my crispy one. Come here.
Yeah, anywho. That's an interesting point. I can always squeeze one in there, I guess, yeah, because there's no specific time period between brain death and turning more Arianda. Well, not mentioned anyway. Anything else, guys?
Well, I just really wish that they hadn't went that way with the lead baddie, because she was really interesting in the first couple of episodes, and it just seems to, once she turns bad, it seems like, in other words, early on it's a bit ambiguous.
Yeah.
Whether or not she's the good guy or bad, because she seems like she's on the run from something or whatever. And of course, these evil guys bomb her, and like she's playing the victim already, and it's like, but then you get to the end, and it's such a switch. I wish they had either. I don't know if it's the writer or the direction, but it seems like they could have made her a bit more, I don't know.
Yeah,
likable.
I know where you're coming from, yeah. Unlikable as the case may be. Yeah, but, what can you do, folks? Anything else, guys?
I like the concept of the Horofax time travel in there, where when they manipulate the people's memories, memories being,
The way to time travel.
Yeah. Using your memories and whatnot. I like that whole concept. It's very almost metaphysical in a way.
All right.
I don't know if it's hippy-dippy or whatever.
That's what's weird about the Time Lords, though, to be fair. That's why they're like the perfect villains, because they can just go back and make you unexist if they want to. You know what I'm saying? They've done that many times. That's why they're so hated, I guess, because if they have a problem with a race in the future of aliens, they can just say, you know what, just go back and wipe them out before they started. Yeah. And there you go. Which is why, this time war is going to be so difficult, I think, to get your head around. But I don't know. That's another story for another day.
Yeah, indeed. That's folks. Alrighty, I guess it's that time again.
Hurry up, man. We got to go to our jiggle joints, man, for the night.
You're buying.
Jiggle joint.
I got all my singles ready.
So as I've got the paperwork and everything in order. Start with the Horofax. Yeah, there you go. Swipe.
I must admit, though, the third Doctor's had his fair share of female villains in these Big Finish stuff.
Well, don't get our buddy Babe started, all right? It's bad enough, all right? Female protagonists seem to be who knows, man. Anyway. Start with the Horofax. Story number 2 of Volume 3 of the Third Doctor Adventures. Treloar and Katy Manning. All right, AJ, when you get it at 10, mate?
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It was quite well put together.
Okay, cool, mate. Philip, what's the number down Tottenham Way?
Oh, you know what? Tottenham says a 9 for this story. I think it's
A 9?
Yes, a 9.
Wow, go Thunder. Timbo, what's the view for Turkico?
I'll go in between. I'll give it an 8.5, because I think it had a lot of potential, but it just disappointed in the end, I guess. But it was a very well crafted story, though. I'll give them that. So.
Okay, cool. And what's the number from NYC? Well,
I'm also going to give it an 8.5. And if Big Finish had any brains, bring back Arianda as a villain again for either meeting the third or other Doctors, since she can't travel in time. So
I think she's blown to bits.
all right, well.
I feel we always see people blowing up and they come back. So I see.
Yeah. Patrick Duffy can do it, and Dallas, anybody can do it, So we'll be stepping out the shower before you know it. And as for me, I'll give us an 8. Solid outing. Just a few nitpicks here and there, as we've discussed. Tim Treloar and Katy Manning are on a roll now as this team, and bring on Box 4 in June with Rufus Hound and the Monk. And with that, guys, done, finito, and dusted for the evening. It just leaves us to divulge what Tom Baker ditty we will be tackling next week. We are tackling, Phil?
I've got the Heart of Darkness, is it?
The Darkness of Bass.
Darkness of Glass.
There you go, folks. Season 4, I believe. We will be tackling the Darkness of Glass. It's probably season 3 now I've said that, but who cares? Yeah, the Darkness of Glass. Tom Baker and so we Jameson, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Thank God for that. There we go. So yeah, we'll give that a bash and we'll see how that one pans out. We've got a wee shorter assignment this week with just an hour audio, so we'll see how that goes. To the panel, thanks for your attendance, guys. Always a pleasure. AJ, thanks for getting up early. Get a star. And with that, we are out of here. Please check out our regular buddies on the wonderful wackety world of the YouTube. You get the guys and dolls there that each assembled with us. their TV, movie, and audio head reviews. You get Dr. Freedom and his news broadcast, the Omega Files, and the Adventures of Dr. Freedom and Eric. You get Johnny Boyle, Sammy Carter, Mike Shannon, whenever he's online. Like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, FUs, whatever you like, I don't care. And with that, we are out of here. Be excellent to yourself and each other, and we are shining off.
You see.
Fuckity bye.